Hello, this is Jared French, and I'm going to showcase the post-war 20th century economy through a little story about R.G. LeTourneau. His dates are 1888 to 1969, and so we're looking at him, his inventions, his companies. Now, he's an inventor. He was an industry leader in earth-moving equipment. He had many inventions, but I'm going to showcase the 1937 Tourn-a-pull. 1937 Tourn-a-pull. It was, by his description, a beauty in action, but kind of hard on the eyes because it was square, because it had this ugly snout where the diesel engine would be, then you have the driver's seat and these two huge wheels. And he offered this design to Caterpillar, and Caterpillar said, "We don't think you have anything there. You should just put it on ice." And he was crushed by that, again, 1937. And he marked it up to him being a poor salesman. You move up to World War II, there are many heavy equipment manufacturers, each making similar products. LeTourneau's company provides 70% of all the heavy earth-moving equipment used by the U.S. Armed Forces. That included 10,000 carry-ons, 14,000 bulldozers, 1,600 sheepfoot rollers, 1,200 rotors, and 1,800 of those Tourn-a-pulls. His company, pre-war year, 1940, made $10 million in sales. The last year of the war, 1945, his company made over $40 million in sales. So you can imagine that post-war transition was hard, but it was successful. And where I would point you to say it was successful, that in 1953, Westinghouse Air Brake Company paid $30 million for the earth-moving equipment rights, factories in Peoria, Illinois, Toccoa, Georgia, and Australia. With that agreement, that purchase, 65-year-old LeTourneau had to stay out of the earth-moving business for 5 years. And as a result, the company made $30 million, and then he made $11 million personally out of that $30 million. And he did. He stayed out for those 5 years, and then he relaunched in 1958. He relaunched with a new version of the Tourn-a-pull, capable of moving 150 tons of dirt in one operation. Also there in that 1958 year, he went to a road show. At that road show, there were 8 other national manufacturers with their copies of the LeTourneau, the Tourn-a-pull, let me get it right there. And so he kind of had to think back, like, well, it took them 20 years to catch up to something that he wanted to let someone else make. Now, Mr. R.G. passed away in 1969. The second company continued on until 2011, when a mining manufacturing company by the name of Joy Global, they acquired it for $1.1 billion. So look at that picture for how the post-war 20th century has really exploded. You have the war high of $40 million for this company, and it made it in a year. You see its sale in 1953 for $30 million, and then fast forward to 2011, $1.1 billion. In a lot of ways, the reason why is because LeTourneau stuck with his invention of the Tourn-a-pull. He didn't get as much as he was crushed. He kept moving. Another note about LeTourneau is he was a Christian, and early on, 1935, he set up a foundation where 90% of his earnings went. And that would then get put for Christian missions. His obituary also notes how he traveled personally over 200,000 miles each year preaching that God was his business partner. And so there's our look at God's businessmen, his Tourn-a-pull, and the post-war economy. And I'll leave you with some zoomed up pictures of the Tourn-a-pull.